Let's go!
You know, I'm not comparing myself to Kobe or anything, but like Kobe did to Mike, that's kind of what it is for me to Patrick.
Oh my goodness, the hype is out of control for Dylan Raiola. We're talking Jordan, Kobe, Mahomes, his homie. Are you kidding me? But today, Georgia fans, let me know, could you imagine him with Georgia's talent? But honestly, this is just a film study on if he is indeed the best true sophomore quarterback, or is it DJ Langway, or is it somebody else? Obviously, that was Dana Holgorsen. They made an offensive coordinator change kind of sort of midway through the season. This is a very creative design. Trips to the right, but you're actually running smash to the bottom of the screen with your running back and tight end. This honestly is a very simple read for Raiola, and it's a quick hitter as well, or quick-ish hitter. It was a good penetration from the DT, makes a really good read, and throws it to the blocking tight end down the field. Here we go, third and medium, and you guys know the rules. Every college team on third and medium runs mesh rail at some point. Okay, it's every single team. Now, this play, as we have said plenty of times, is better versus man than zone, but it can also be a good zone beater. So you have the mesh over the middle. Your first read oftentimes is the running back out of the backfield. And, well, on this mesh, Raiola gets a little unlucky, okay? Normally, this hook can be open versus zone. He decides to go to this wide receiver who's running right into the zone defender. If for some reason he had worked all the way to the tight end, Fedone, who's now with the Giants, this would have been a first down. Instead, he throws it to here, and his wide receiver gets ear-holed. So I saw a few PFF writers bring this up, that Nebraska's offense, I'm going to be honest, I didn't really watch a whole lot of Cornhusker football outside of today, but they struggled to have guys that could just get open versus man coverage, and the man coverage defense that they played increased throughout the course of the season, and you'll see why right here. Nobody's able to get open. I mean, everybody's in a phone booth. The twist stunt to the bottom of the screen is getting through here, and obviously part of Raiola's game isn't mobility. I didn't say that smoothly at all. He is not a talented runner whatsoever. Maybe a more mobile quarterback is squeezing through here. Either way, there's just not a whole lot he could do other than better this ball security, okay? You've got to be careful when you are right here, especially if you feel that rusher being rushed up the field. This very easily could have been a strip sack, and lucky enough, the end didn't swipe down on it, and he was able to hold on. The ball did get a little loose there, but you avoid the fumble. Third and Waverly. What are you going to do here, Dylan? Once again, they are being very simple with it defensively. Straight two-man under coverage. They are basically daring these receivers to do something. All right, and this is a 3-ish man rush. So, once again, the interior rush was a problem all game from their edge players. We saw that twist stunt get home. That was just a basic rush. But you'll see there is a lot of real estate right here in this rivalry game. This looks like the interstate between Iowa and Nebraska. But Raiola, does he have the athleticism to pick it up? Can he get there? I give 49 a lot of credit. He was getting dominated early in the rep, and he found his way back in. He can't get there, and they're forced to punt. Get the football backed up into your own territory on this 2nd and 7, and you'll see that Nebraska runs a spacing concept. They did a lot of this last year, and honestly, this is really good stuff from Raiola. He sees that this player is running into the flat, so you want to just throw this football to your wide open receiver. Ford was probably their best receiver on the season. Made a few, actually a really insane catch in the bowl game. There is this weird obsession with Patrick Mahomes and Dylan Raiola. They both wear number 15. They've worked out with each other. Mahomes, heck, Gunner Stockton, Georgia's quarterback, is picking up this first down. This is the most unathletic, athletic play I've seen from a freshman phenom QB, okay? So we saw a minute ago that Raiola couldn't pick up the first down with his legs. Right here, I would say maybe 4 out of every 5 starting quarterbacks, they're picking up this first down with their legs, okay? You've got to make these rushers pay for losing their pass rush lane integrity. So Raiola is deciding whether or not he's actually going to scramble. Obviously, it's not really his game. So he runs right into the sack very unathletically. Give 45 a lot of credit for making this play. Now, this is Mahomesian mixed with the little Josh Allen. As he's falling down, look, his feet aren't even on the ground. That is ridiculous. He's able to throw this football and bang, okay? Short of the line to gain, Nebraska doesn't go for it because Iowa's offense sucks. Yet Raiola's understanding of the game of football is really, really, really high for such a young player, okay? So once he sees that this corner bails and that there is a safety right here, he knows this vertical more than likely is going to occupy these 2 defenders, okay? So he's looking, as you can see, at the deep safety. So you can just backpedal to give this deep over time to work all the way over here, okay? You get some decent pass protection from the running back, and Raiola with that Mahomesian sidearm delivery just floats this football right into the space, leading his receiver and allowing him to gain a few extra yards after the catch. It's really, really, really good stuff. And this all around is nasty, all right? So the QB minds that are way better than mine would say this footwork is a little jumpy, but dadgum, look at this pass protection. Guy sent all the way back to Lincoln here, and man, I don't care if there's a little toe movement, whatever. Base looks good, and man, on this double slant concept, he just throws an absolute missile right into Ford's path to allow him to make a play after the catch. And man, this is really, really, really good stuff right here, okay? Zone read, pull. You have Fedone, who is a ridiculous athlete at the tight end position. Linebacker decides to run with them, so Dylan decides to pull and run this himself for a nice first down. Obviously, the Georgia Bulldogs, you guys have just made my algorithm so beautiful this week, and this is why Raiola would have been a good fit. His dad was an NFL offensive lineman, so he's got this pro-style background, if you will, and this is what Georgia does better than anyone. They get in a heavier personnel, 12 personnel with these 2 tight ends, and like we saw a minute ago, they ran smash with the tight end and the running back. This time they're running a flood variation, and it's kind of the same thing we saw a minute ago with the deep over. Once you see that this vertical is going to hold the corner and the safety, that means that this deep corner route from the tight end should be open, okay? Now, you have to be careful. You got to make sure that corner is indeed running with the receiver, and he does wait quite a bit to make sure it's wide open, and he throws a beautiful ball. I mean, it could not have been placed any better, and it's an explosive gain down the field. I really like this from Dylan. You could see that the play clock does expire right before the snap. Normally, the referees give it to the offense, okay? So, as you could see, bang, should have been delay of game. Ball is not snapped yet. It was snapped right after, okay? And you could see this Iowa sideline was not happy about that. But still, it wasn't egregious. And Raiola sees that these safeties are really pinned close. So you want to work the goal balls down the sideline. That's actually good stuff from the defensive coordinator as well, because, a lot of offenses don't want to throw the low percentage man-to-man goal ball. And, well, Raiola just throws it up, and he's able to draw the pass interference penalty. That's actually really good ball location as well. So I've watched this next play quite a bit, and I've gone back and forth on how I feel about it. Look, it would have been probably one of the more high-level throws I've seen from any collegiate quarterback, but it's definitely in Raiola's repertoire. So you can see right here, he doesn't want to work either one of these routes. So he decides to work backside, and this tight end is taking forever and a day to get into this deep over, okay? And guess what? It does eventually open up right here. It's a very difficult throw to get that up and down. So Dylan sees all this space over here, just throws it into the flat. You're in field goal range. So, look, he might be able to pick it up, might not. And 21 makes the first guy miss and is able to pick up some yards, and they elect to be conservative and kick the field goal, which is the right thing to do. So, Nebraska missed the field goal. Then Iowa got the ball back, punted it. Nebraska fumbled the punt return, and then Iowa kicked a field goal. So we get to here, okay? One thing that you do see from young quarterbacks is they do have a tendency to allow the play clock to get way too far down. Some of that's on Holgo and Rule, okay? Because that just puts your offensive line and quarterback in a really bad spot. Now, once again, not being a runner really, really, really hurts Dylan Raiola because this is a clear run opportunity, right? You plant your leg and you go as hard as you can versus man right here. And, well, if you're able to get through there, you're probably picking up the first down. Instead, he decides to roll out to his left. And, man, I like the fact that he threw this football because it makes college football games more exciting. But throwing against your body up in the air like this can lead into mistakes. If the safety was 1 inch taller, he makes that play. But what an amazing catch, once again, by the run blocking. So when you play against the best defensive coordinators, like Phil Parker of Iowa, who knows you're going to run mesh, they're always going to have the perfect call versus it. And you could see how well their coach, look at how well this is all passed off. Everybody kind of knows where everybody needs to be. This overhang is able to play the hook and the shallow drag right here. So once again, Iowa's defenses, they're always the smartest, and they're able to get a stop here. There's not really a whole lot Raiola could have done because the protection broke down as well, and we get to a punt. Okay, 3rd and 3, tie game. Their star running back, Caleb Johnson, went full Jerome Bettis and scored like a deep, deep, deep touchdown run. And, well, Raiola decides to pull the zone read. Contain is there, so he cuts it back. And because the blocking was so good, he was able to get physical and pick up this first down. Really, really, really good stuff. You want to know why having at least one receiver who can beat man is important? Because the best defense to run is just 2-man under. If you can get home with 4, which Iowa, they have generated a lot of pressure, and you could just lock guys up on the outside, it's just the best thing to do. It's ironic because, this is my first Raiola video. This is all the Eagles did versus Mahomes, right? Quarters and just cover 2, mix it up, and it's just man-to-man. And look at the spacing of these routes. Absolutely brutal right here from Dana. It looks like somebody ran something wrong, or what I think is this good receiver for Nebraska got pressed so bad that he was supposed to already be here on this deep out, so Raiola just kind of throws it up, and it's just nasty. Abso-freaking-lutely nasty stuff, and you're lucky it wasn't worse than that. Now, here we go, 3rd and 3. I like this from Dylan. Score still tied. Wide receiver versus inside leverage is running a slant. Has a really nice jitterbug move, and attacks that elbow, swipes at it, and this corner is reaching. And Raiola trusted 4 in this spot to win this battle, and he did. Should have been a flag for PI as well. Good throw, good catch. So one thing I've never understood is even though there's a lot of math to back this up, why are you still running on 3rd and short and 2nd and short? I never understand why teams do this. And what does Nebraska do here? The same thing. It is 2nd and 2. Everybody is crammed on the line of scrimmage. A first down, yeah, it moves the chains, but it doesn't change a whole lot. This should have been a negative play. Instead of you taking a shot, running back makes a good play and it's a first. So why am I a big proponent of that? Well, 2nd and 2 is better than having to convert something on 3rd and 8 or 2nd and 8, right? It's a far superior down. And what does Iowa do? Same thing. This time it's more of a cover one, it looks like here, with the robber over the middle. And there really is just nothing Raiola can do about this. He's getting hit while he's thrown. Nobody's able to generate any type of separation. And you got to punt again. Dylan Raiola, you have a chance to go down there and win the game. A road game in which Nebraska pretty much dominated. This Iowa offense was so putrid outside of like one really, really, really special Caleb Johnson play. But we start off here with a little check down. And, well, this play almost resulted in a fumble. And Nebraska had their fair share of turnover issues on offense. And I know Matt Rule knows way more about football than me, but here's yet again another 3rd and 1. I guess a run here does make a little bit more sense, but I'm not a big fan of just cramming everyone in anyway. They do get it, and this is where disaster begins to strike. So let's talk about Raiola. I did go watch the Ohio State game, and boy, there was some really high-level stuff where Nebraska almost put off the upset in the shoe. And then you also factor in some of the other games. The bowl game was overall fine. That was also a game full of chaos. But I thought, knowing that Raiola did not have a single 300-yard passing game last year, I thought the rushing splits would be heavier with Nebraska. So you see right here, he's staring everything down, and it is a strip fumble to essentially end the game. Iowa hits a game-winning field goal right after this. And once again, it's kind of sort of more of what we were talking about a minute ago. Yes, the right tackle gets beat really bad, but Raiola is really deep in this drop. And something else that was very interesting watching this game, for a majority of this game, you as a quarterback need to communicate with your offensive linemen, in particular your tackles. If they had been rushing upfield and through the edge, you need to be more willing to step up, right? This is a really, really, really deep drop. Look at how far back this drop actually is. You're not helping out your offensive lineman at all. And once again, with this running back running over here, you step up at all, you're rushing for a huge gain. And he did have a massive scramble that helped flip momentum in that Ohio State game. I need better pocket presence from Dylan this next year, because if he doesn't, and because of his lack of mobility, it could be another disastrous year. But, going back to what we were talking about, I had thought Nebraska would have a far heavier run split, but their plays per game was actually kind of sort of high. Rushing and passing was above average. So I was a little shocked that Raiola wasn't more productive. Now, like we mentioned, the skill position talent outside of Fedone, who will play in the league, even then he was up and down. It wasn't where it needed to be. And Nebraska obviously, attacked that this offseason. But I do wonder, if he was in that Georgia system, or if he would have been with Ohio State, what would it look like now? So let me know what you guys think down below. I'm really excited to watch him this next year. I get the hype, but I'm just not quite there yet. I need to see more. It is Power Hour SEC. Boom! Big shout out to all the Dog Nation and Nebraska fans. Hope you enjoyed this. Tonight we are doing some lemon pepper chicken wings. Let's go. Or no. We got to go get some elotes. Corn, get it in Nebraska.